Making Duxelle is a fancy word for the mushroom paste go into the beef Wellington. So if you make the whole beef Wellington, including the Duxelle, the mushroom paste, completely entire process, it takes a very long time. So I always make them ahead of the time, and I use white mushroom and also these shiitake mushroom or gourmet mushroom blend. So I mix them together. I don't usually just use one type of mushroom. I use several type of mushroom, and for each of those you need, well, this is not quite as full, so this is the gourmet mushroom. You can tell they have this fancy mushroom in it. So for every 1 cup of these, one of these blender thing, I usually put three cloves of garlic and a quarter of the shallot. So I blend them, and so I will cook. Also you put 2 sprigs of thyme and salt and pepper. Just sprinkle some salt and pepper because mushroom doesn't have flavor. You always have to layer them flavor. So, it's about a teaspoonful of salt. Then you blend them, and when you blend them, bunch of them, you put it in a frying pan and you cook them. So you blend them to the point that you can tell it's very pasty looking, and that means it's done. What I do is I remove the blade and I scrape the pasty stuff. Mushroom has a lot of waters in it, so, and you can tell I have 3 more to go, and when I'm done, I show you how much. I will make a big batch of it because my family member loves to eat beef Wellington, and cooking these Duxelles, it takes the longest time, so I always make them a big batch, and I'm ready to make the second batch. Okay, this is the last cup, and there's a big piece of onion hasn't been. See, this is common things happen. So when you open it and then you notice that if the onion or some stuff that it's not blend, you have to go back and reblend it again because you don't want a big chunks of onion. So this is the last cup of the onion, the mushroom paste that I blended. And like what I said, I usually make bunch of them because they are the most time consuming. By the way, when you cook them, there's a lot of liquid in mushroom. It takes a long time to cook them, so I usually cook bunch of them like these. Cook them and put it in a Ziploc bag, and when I need it, and all I can do is take them out from the freezer and store them, and I can just go from there. And if you, the first time I noticed that making this mushroom paste take the longest time, so I learned to just go ahead and make bunch of them. And when my son's friend or my husband and son, they want to eat beef Wellington, I will have them ready. By the way, you wanted to rinse off these stuff right away because they turn really pasty looking. So put it under the water, rinse them. Otherwise, they will stuck it on it and it's really hard to wash. But when you first finish blending it and then you rinse it off, that's a lot easier than when you wait until it's dry. Just give a quick rinse. Then I'm gonna move these to the stove and then show you how to cook it. You turn the stove to high heat. Turn the stove to high heat and then put the mushroom, the Duxelles on it, and then start. So you can tell this part is the white mushroom, this is the gourmet mushroom, or the shiitake mushroom. They're a little bit darker. The better the mushroom, the taste, the better. But sometimes it depends. I don't have enough of the gourmet mushroom that's available in the store, so I will use whatever mushroom, like the white mushroom. But if I can, I try to use all the gourmet mushroom. So you cook them until most of the moisture goes out. This is very wet right now, so you keep stirring it until all the moisture out. And it's a long process. And the more the moisture comes out, the less that the beef Wellington skin is, the puff pastry turn to soggy. So just be patient to cook all the moisture out. So about 15 minutes on a medium heat, you can see there's a lot of steam coming out. And then at the beginning, you saw that I have a full pans of this Duxelles mushroom paste going to the beef Wellington. Now, after 15 minutes, I only have half pans because the majority of moisture is already evaporated. And it's pretty much done. You don't want it to be too dry. And if it's too dry, it doesn't go on the beef Wellington well. So at this point, I'm going to turn off the stove and let it cool down. And then I'm going to store them. And these probably can go into a 2 batch. So like these. And then I put in a 2 Ziploc bags, so I can have 2 rounds, about 4, total 4 beef Wellington. Like each time is 2 beef Wellington, and then so this will be 4 beef Wellington. And there you go. This is the it has white button mushroom, shiitake mushroom, and gourmet mushroom for the Duxelles. Also, I call it mushroom paste to go to the beef Wellington.